Hey good people, it's Sheena and I'm back with another video. So I wanted to go over 10 things that you can do to your home, some of the things I've done to my home to just make it feel a bit more updated, a bit more elevated without breaking the bank. And the first thing you want to do is look around your home and see what can be painted. And I'm not just talking about the walls, y'all. Like, you can paint just about anything. You can paint furniture, which a lot of wood people may be like, don't paint it, but it's yours. If you don't like the way the wood looks, paint it. I've painted doors, fireplaces, dressers. And the thing for me is, if I don't like it, I can always repaint it, or if I want to, I can go through and sand it and stain it again. So painting definitely can change the entire vibe of a room, whether it's your bedroom or your kitchen or your bathroom. Don't sleep on the power of paint, and don't think that painting is so expensive. You can have high-end paint and low-end paint, but the biggest thing is preparing, taping, taking your time, and the technique to get it done. Just because the paint is more expensive does not automatically mean that it's going to look better. So take your time with it, let it dry the way it needs to dry, and you should be happy with the outcome. The second thing you might want to consider replacing or updating are your ceiling fans. Yes, it seems like from the 1980s to the early 2000s, all the ceiling fans look the same with that brass embellishment. And I still have them throughout my home. We did update one ceiling fan, and I can say all of the new ceiling fans kind of look the same with the modern blades, but that does elevate your home by changing out those ceiling fans. The next one is an easy one, and that is your switch plate, your light plate, or your outlet plates. This is something that is seen throughout your home, and a lot of times if you have the old school beige ones, you're probably not even paying attention to it, because listen, as long as the light comes on and off, that's really what matters. But just changing that plate to a smooth white, or you can paint it the color of the wall, you can put wallpaper on it if you want to, but getting away from that bone beige looking color, or if your light plate is white and the switch is beige, that throws it off too, and it just screams, I need to be updated. That's something you can just screw off, screw on, and it's super cheap. You can probably do your entire home for less than $30. Light switches and plates, light fixtures are another hot ticket item to replace. We've all seen the boob lights, so we want to get away from the boob lights. This is something that does not have to be expensive. You can get so many different options off of Amazon, and I'm seeing now that Walmart and Lowe's, they're starting to up their variety and come down on some of their prices. But Amazon will probably be my forever go-to when it comes to things like that. You definitely want to read the reviews and see how it looks installed, what issues people were having, so you can know if this is something that you can do, or you might need to get your uncle or your cousin to do for you. But yeah, definitely look at all of your light fixtures. So of course you want to change the light fixtures, ceiling fans with lights, but also recessed lighting. That's something that I have going on right now. I have the old school recessed lighting. The bulbs are big, they go out all the time. So I definitely want to upgrade, and you should too, to the LED lighting. They are cheaper on Amazon. I feel like you probably can get maybe 20 or 25 for less than $100. So updating your recessed lighting is also good. These LED lights are very flat, so you can use the same holes. You don't have to make anything wider, you don't have to make anything deeper. It's gonna slide right into the recess you currently have. So moving on to the kitchen. I am currently redoing my kitchen cabinets because they were made in the late 50s, early 60s. So they were actually made onto the home, and they are old, y'all. They got the old Western style exposed hinges. But let's just say you're not starting off as rough as me. Let's say your cabinets were made like maybe in the 90s or something. So you can go in, add some soft close hinges. That's not expensive to do if you buy the hinges off Amazon. And most importantly, you can go in and change the hardware. Yes, Now, if the hardware isn't enough, go back to number one and paint your cabinets. Yes, it can feel like a daunting task, but one of the things I've learned as far as when I'm doing a makeover or changing things throughout my home, is this something that I want to look at for a very long time? Or is it something like I want to complain about a very long time? Or do I actually want to do something about it? And the hardest thing to do is to get started. So the first thing you need to do is pick a paint to paint your cabinets, paint the cabinets, update your hardware, boom. You got a brand new kitchen. So let's just say you paint your cabinets, you change the hardware. It's okay to sit in that moment for a while to figure out how you want the rest of your kitchen or that area to look. Curtains. So you definitely want to make sure you don't have curtains that are too short. Now we're in an era where we hang our curtains close to the ceiling and not at the same height as the window. And that's one thing you need to look at when you do decide to buy your curtains, to hang them close to the ceiling. You want to make sure they're long enough to get to the floor. Now, everyone has their own opinion as far as they want their curtain length to kiss the floor. I guess mine is tongue kissing the floor because it kind of pulls at the bottom a little bit. So I will probably end up taking those curtains up a little bit. I don't have very high ceilings, so it's very easy for curtains to be too long for my windows. But you definitely want to bring those curtains up, the curtain rod up, and let it flow. It just makes your room look bigger. And it makes you feel like you're in a more elevated space. Another easy one are your doorknobs. If you have, well, first let's talk about the doors. I was at a point where I could not afford all new doors, so I painted some of the doors and added a little design, and it made it feel like it was a new door. On top of that, you need to look and see if your doorknobs need to be upgraded. So now we're seeing the doorknobs that come with the plate, or just a nice little straight cut doorknob that's a matte black. Brass may come back with the doorknobs, but for a while the brass doorknobs were out of style. So you just want to make sure all your doorknobs are, one, updated, and two, they kind of have the same design. We don't need like several different types of doorknobs. Doorknobs, in my opinion, aren't the cheapest thing to replace because more likely you have to do more than one. So that's something you might want to do over time. And with all of these, there's nothing wrong with every month picking something from the list that you want to work on, because honestly, that's how you get things done. So another thing I feel can be considered upgrading or updating your space is adding trim, some type of molding. This can be on a door. We used it on our wall. You can use it on your hallway. You can use it as a feature wall in your dining room, in your living room, or in your bedroom. Wainscoting, molding, picture framing, any type. You can come up with your own design, and it can be the same color paint as the wall. You don't have to do two different colors. Personally, I prefer the same color, but adding some trim to a space that looks kind of boring is super easy to do. And if maybe 10 years down the line you don't like it, you can just remove it. If it's damaged some, you can always just putty and repaint. But trimming is definitely something I don't see going anywhere, and you can be so creative with it. So the last thing I always say that can upgrade or elevate your space is actually free. It doesn't really cost any money. And that's just having a clutter-free home, having a clean space. I know when I come into my home after work and stuff is everywhere, my home feels old and raggedy. Now my home is old, and some people may consider it raggedy, but if there's a lot of stuff everywhere, everything is out of place, it just makes me itch. Like, you have to get it cleaned up so mentally you can feel better as well. But I have areas in my home where I'm very happy with the way the room looks, but when clutter is everywhere, it doesn't even matter. So you ever been to someone's home or seen someone's home on TV and it's like beautiful, but it's in a mess, and you're like, man, they got that nice house and they keeping it. Yeah, don't be that person. So the last thing to always elevate and update your space is keeping it clutter-free and clean. When everything is in place, everything has a place, your home automatically feels a bit more updated and modern. It's hard to see your home when you got so much stuff there. So I hope this video was helpful. Even though there are 10 things on this list, you can always just think about focusing on one thing for that month. So this month, hey, let's change out all the light plates. Maybe next month, let's look at changing out a light fixture. And by the end of the year, when months and months go by, you see all the changes that you've made, and it just really makes your home more cohesive. It also inspires you to continue doing things with your home as well. So let me know down in the comments if there's something you did to your space that instantly felt like an upgrade that I did not mention here. As always, thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.